Hey everybody, thanks so much for stopping by my channel today. Um, it is almost Administrative Professionals Day. And so my team, I have been racking my brain on what to do for them. And I have a few ideas. So I'm kind of working through those. But one of the things that I wanted to do, because we are in this massive change management thing right now, where we're updating a bunch of systems all at once, and it is whew, it's a lot. It's a little bit extra, to be honest. It's a little extra. So I thought that I would make everyone some of these glitter stress balls. So basically, it's just a plastic bottle. You can also get them in glass that has a suspended solution in it and some glitter. And that's it. So super easy to do, but also really awesome to just kind of like when you're having one of those stressful moments, to just kind of give it a shake and just watch the glitter settle and breathe because it's going to be fine. It's going to be 1,000% fine. So that's one of the things I'm going to be doing for them. So let's make a few of these today. They're super easy, super fun, and you can do these with your kids. So let's get started. Okay, so first thing you're going to need is one of these little bottles. These are super cheap. I got them on Amazon, a box of 30 for $10, something like that. So super, super cheap. Maybe they might even have been less than that. And you can also get them in glass. I did go for plastic because if they get dropped and they break, it's a mess. So I don't want that to get on someone's carpet or on their floor because it has glue and glycerin and all of that. So just going to use plastic and hope for the best. Now, what I'm going to use is I'm going to use my snow globe solution. If you saw this video, this was a tumbler and I walked through how to make the solution. It is 2 parts of distilled water, 1 part glycerin, 1 part clear glue. So you can use the Amazon brand, you can use Elmer's, you can use whatever makes you happy. I would not use glitter glue though, just because it doesn't incorporate very well. But if you use the glitter glue, you have to kind of use boiling water to really get it to incorporate. So I just use the clear PVA glue because we're gonna put so much glitter in this. We don't need the glitter glue. So as you can see, so I shook this a few minutes ago and it's still settling. So all the chunky kind of settled at the bottom already, but then that fine glitter is still kind of swirling about. So I think in this next one, I'm going to use more fine glitter. I used a lot of chunky in this one, but I think I'm going to use more fine. So let's grab our solution, which I just have in a squeezy bottle. And I'm going to fill this, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of the way full. And these don't take much at all. So I'm going to put down a piece of paper just to collect all of the glitter that is going to flow our way. So I thought that this first one, we could go with kind of a mixture of these. A little bit of sunburst, a little bit of papaya, a little bit of clementine, and a little bit of guava. Maybe more guava and just a little bit of the others. So there's really no rhyme or reason. It's whatever makes you happy. So I'm just going to put just a little bit of this and a little bit of that into this cup. And then we'll put it in our little jar, shake it up, and we'll see how we like it. You don't need a whole lot, honestly, because these jars are so tiny. So let's do papaya, because I think papaya has some pink and some orange. But I also don't want to do a lot of the chunky because it does sink so fast. One thing I don't like about these bags is all that static, the glitter just kind of clings to it and then just gets everywhere. I usually put everything into bottles, but I realized that I have a problem. I have over 500 bottles of glitter. So I have decided I don't have enough space for all of that. So I'm trying to keep everything in the bags now instead of distilling them into bottles because of that. Because the jars take so much room and the bags don't. But then you have to deal with the static with the bags, which I don't love, but it's okay. I'm going to put a little bit more pink in there, I think. Okay. And then we'll just see how we feel about it. So I'm just going to mix this up. I feel like the orange takes over a little bit more than I wanted, but I think that's okay. So here's what it looks like. If you ever want to mix your glitters and you want to test them to kind of see what the end product looks like, just put it on a white piece of paper or a black piece of paper, whatever. Just a solid piece of paper. And then that way you can kind of see what it's going to look like. All right, so let's go with this. And then see if this is, I think this is probably going to be enough. But if we need to add more, we can do that. Okay, so a couple of different things that you can do. You can just YOLO it and pour it in and hope for the best. Or you can use a funnel, which is what I am going to go for. But sometimes with your chunkies, so some of your chunky glitters will get stuck in the funnel. So there's also that. But let's just go for it and see what happens. Okay. You can just take your stick and just push it down. And on this funnel, there's like a little lip, which is kind of weird. That was where the two pieces meet, where this like big piece meets and then the thin piece, the little tube. There's a lip there and the glitter gets stuck in there sometimes. So how big of a mess am I going to make if I just pour from here? You guys are taking bets. Okay, I would just like to say, hardly any mess at all. I'd say that's a pro tip, but it's not. It was just absolute pure luck. And we grab the lids. And with different bottles, they have different lids. I don't particularly love these. I don't mind the fact that they're metal. I just don't really love the color. I guess if I was really inclined, I could spray paint them or do something like that, but I'm not. Okay, so I'm just going to give this a really, really good shake so we can see the color. And you see how it's mostly orange? I really, really wanted that to be more pink. So I'm actually just going to add a little bit more pink to it. All right, let's try this. Okay. All right, so now let's give it another shake and see how we feel about that color. And ignore all the air bubbles in here. We're going to get all of those out. Okay, that's much better, although it's hard to see because of the air, but that's a lot better. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start filling this up with solution. And all this air is going to come out, so no need to fret. So I'm just going to take our solution and just pour it in. There is an air pocket right there. There we go. And as your air starts to come to the top, it'll make more room for your solution. And you can kind of stick a stick in there and just pop your bubbles. And we're also going to just let this sit and degas. So I'm just going to set this to the side with the lid off, and then let's move on to our next one. I pulled out all of these glitters, and I feel like I definitely want to do something in the pinks, and then the blues, and then not sure about over here yet, but definitely want to do some pinks and some blues. So let's grab another jar. And let's do pink first because who doesn't love pink? So we're just going to start with the same process. We are just going to fill this up as I make a mess. Fill this about 3/4 of the way. And then let's mix some glitter. And I'm just going to use that same cup. It doesn't matter if there's a little bit of cross-contamination. So this has some purple, some silver, some pink. So maybe let's start with some pink because I really want it to be pink. And this is pretty chunky, so I don't want too much of that in there. And then I'm going to add a little bit of this, which is a fine pink glitter. Oh, look at that. That is gorgeous. And then how about a little bit of this? This is Poppy. I think this is from Peachy Olive Glitters. It's kind of bright, kind of chunky. Okay. So that was my wet end. Let's just use this one. I don't even think I'm going to use the funnel on this one because it is so chunky. I think it's just going to get stuck. So we'll just do our best to get it to pour in. Okay. So that looks pretty good. Let's give it a shake. Oh, that's really pretty. I really like that. I think I kind of want a little bit more of that chunky one though. Not a lot more, just a little bit. I don't know. What do you think? If I, let's go with, I don't know. There's, all right, let's go with Pink Passion. Let's do Pink Passion. Not a lot, just a little. Okay, and that should definitely do it. So I'm going to give it another shake. And then that's what our color looks like. I know it's hard to see through all the bubbles, but those will go away in a few minutes. Okay. So I'm going to set this one to the side too. And then I'm just going to make a few more. I'll speed run through these and I'll meet you back here at the end and we'll check out everything that we've done, which I am so far in love with. On this one, it was ugly. It was low-key ugly, you guys. So I keep like my cast off glitters and then I put them in a jar. Well, this jar, it's got a lot of darkness in it, so it looks kind of brown. And so the glitter itself was brownish, goldish. It just wasn't very attractive. So I put some alcohol ink in here, you guys, and now it's pink with some gold flakes, which looks amazing. And we could add more pink if we wanted to. Actually, I think I really want to. I think I'm going to put another drop in here. And now I've rethought, I wonder if I should put drops in all the other ones. So I'm kind of in the air, up in the air. So the other thing about if you put alcohol inks into your jars, all those bubbles, it'll work to get those out because the alcohol will evaporate them. Okay, I think that's enough pink. Okay, so a couple of things. So one, this one is a jar that I did that I used what's called a still solution. And it's really to keep your glitter completely suspended. And it does keep it completely suspended. But the whole point of a glitter jar is so that you can watch the glitter fall and, you know, come back up. So I think I'm going to keep this one for myself because I don't think this will do my people any good. So I'm just going to top it up with a little bit of just fluid here. And then we're just going to call it good. And I'll just keep this one for myself. As a reminder, don't use still solution in something that you really want the glitter to fall. You can see that it doesn't move. It's very, it's like very thick and gelatinous. So it just doesn't move much, which is great in tumbler if you don't want it, you know, if you don't want your glitter to flow, but I want it to flow. So I will keep that one for myself. Now, so I need 7 total. So here is the blue one. Just going to fill it up most of the way, not all the way. That way, if we want to add some more glitter, we can. I don't think we're going to need any more glitter, But if we want to add some alcohol ink or anything like that, it's really pretty. It's pretty dark already. I don't really think it needs any color in there. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this up more. Not quite all the way because I'm going to put some alcohol in here. So I'll just leave it like that. And then this one is kind of like a light purple, purpley silver. I think that's really pretty. Okay, so here is our minty green one, which I think this is so pretty. I really, really like this one. And I only put the small glitter in. I didn't put any of the chunky glitter at all. But I think this is really pretty. Just this mint color is just gorgeous. So I think I'm just going to leave it like that. So I'm just going to fill this up some more too. You guys can see all those bubbles coming out the top, which is fine. Okay. So then this is our pink one. And I think this is perfect just as it is too. So I'm not going to do anything with that one other than just kind of top it up. And I should have topped these up before I shook them, so that way there was not the opportunity for air to make itself at home, but you know, live and learn. Okay, so let's top this one up mostly before we shake it. Not all the way, because if we want to make adjustments to the glitter or anything like that, we don't want it to be all the way at the top. That's really pretty. I think that turned out really pretty. I was going for more of a pink color, but I think that the orange, the kind of the sherbet color, is actually really pretty. And then we have this one. I think that is so pretty. I really, really like that. I like the way it flows too. I feel like I have maybe more glycerin in that one. Now I'm going to take and just put a little bit of alcohol in each one of these. Not alcohol inks, just alcohol. And that will break up those bubbles. Can you hear that? Can you guys hear the fizzing? Let's see if I get it closer to the camera. Oh, that's, you know what? I think this is going to overflow, but we'll see. That's amazing. That fizzy sound, I absolutely love that. I think that is so awesome. So the alcohol will also help the glitter not stick as much to the sides. And the same thing with this one. Okay. Okay, so I am just going to let these sit here for a little bit until most of those bubbles are gone, and then I'll just come back in and I'll keep topping it up. I'll probably let them sit here for probably 24-ish hours. That way, any bubbles that come up to the surface will pop. So I'm just going to give all of these a really good shake again, and then I'm just going to let them sit here for about 24 hours, and then I will come back to you and I'll show you the final products. I think that these turned out so, so cute so far. I cut out some vinyl that just says Serenity Shimmer, and I did it in white and blue since I wasn't sure which color I wanted to put on which one, because like on the blue one, the blue's not going to show up very well. Maybe, I don't know, on this one either. So the first thing we have to do is we have to clean these off to make sure there's no residue on there, because if there's residue, the vinyl won't stick, or it won't stick very well. So just going to grab some of my alcohol, spray it on here, and then just give this a really good clean. Let's grab our vinyl. And our handy dandy transfer tape. I use the Tech Wrap Craft Black, which I really like. It works really well. And then, guys, check it out. This is a pokey tool, and you can use it for weeding. You can use it to push glitter down if you're making a tumbler or something like that. And I made it. Look how cool that is and how pretty that is. I love it so, so much. I have been on I don't know, like a bead thing lately. Like I've really just, I don't know, just totally been into beads lately and making stuff with them. So, and there's of course glitter on here. Why wouldn't there be? And hopefully it will not be dramatic, because sometimes it's dramatic. Especially when you have like really fine letters and small letters. Sometimes it's tough. Okay, so let's go with white on the blue for sure. And I'm just gonna put it like right about here. And then I'm not too worried about, oops. So now I'm just gonna kind of do this one little letter at a time, because the bottle's curved, and because it's curved, it doesn't really like to lay flat, which is fine, because I'm gonna go back down in a minute and just push it down. Oh, you guys, it's so cute. Look, that's really, really, really cute. I really like it. I think that turned out so adorable. Look how perfect that is. Oh my gosh. I'm in love. I know there's some bubbles in there, but I don't care. I'm not worried about it. I think that that is so cute. All right, so I'm just gonna go through and put all of these on. I'll come back to you when I'm done and show you what they look like. All right, so what do you guys think? I think they turned out so cute. That's the one I wish I would have put white on. Yeah, that's, I'll just leave it off for a minute. and then these two, and then this one. I think they turned out really, really, really cute. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope that you enjoyed watching these as much as I enjoyed making them. They're so much fun and so easy and so versatile, and you could really do anything with them. And the fact that you can literally just sit here and shake them and watch the glitter fall, I find to be incredibly therapeutic. So thank you again. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing and joining our Crystal Clear Creations family. And hopefully I will see you next time.